Welcome to episode 4 of my Morphing and Animation Rive course. Today we're going to start with the morphing process. This is going to be very exciting. I hope you enjoy it. Now we're going to work a bit more on our morph. So let me think. Okay, we're going to start building up Tom. Okay, let's start at the bottom. Okay, Tom's got he's got a different color on his shirt, so I'm just going to choose that color, and now I put a keyframe here. And now it's very important, we can't just put a keyframe on Tom, we have to put one on Jim as well. So we're not changing the color, we're just putting a keyframe. Otherwise, when we go back from Tom to Jim, it's going to keep the parameters that we keyframed on Jim. So we need to tell Rive that we need to go back to this one, even though we didn't change it here. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to give him a bit of a wider body. I'm going to do it here with the rectangle path and the width. He's a bigger guy, so maybe something like that. And for Jim, yet again, we just put the keyframe there. And then also, I think he's got a wider neck. So we just go to Jim, go to the width of the rectangle path, just place a keyframe because we're not changing anything here. We're going to change Tom. And then Tom's neck, make it a bit wider. So if we go to the state machine now and play it, let's see what we have. Like I said, continuously play the state machine, because it's inevitable that you're going to have stray keyframes or forget to keyframe something, because now it's getting quite complicated. See, it's working. Great stuff. Okay, let's continue. Okay, now we're getting to the head. Okay, how are we gonna do the head? I don't want to use the scale here because we've used the scale on the basic animation. If you use the same parameters in your morphs that you do in the basic animation, it gives problems. That's why that's one of the reasons why I've created all of these groups, is to create keyframes in places where and a new parameters for every different area that I want keyframes. So for Jim, let's just put one here on the height of his head, because Tom's got a very elongated face. Then we go to Tom, make his face long like that. And then the ears, we go to left ear, maybe just bring the scale down around 80 because he's got smaller ears. It's all these subtle little details that add. Okay, then before that we just need to go to Jim and add a keyframe. See, I almost forgot there. It's you have to keep track of what you're doing here. 80% on the other ear, and Jim, we just press it. Okay, now let's test it again. Continuous, this is a process of testing, continuous testing the whole time. Okay, so now everything's working fine. Let's go and move on. Okay, now we want Jim's hair to disappear. Let's think how we're going to do this. There's many ways of doing this. One of the ways you can do it is just put a keyframe on the scale. That's one way, but I think sometimes when you do this, it's got quite a visible effect. Let me show you. So I go to X there, and then to Tom, and then we make it 0, and then play the state machine. Oh no, it's the wrong one. State machine. Okay, let's go. See, it's got quite a visible effect there, and I don't like that. That's also what you want to do with these morphs, is you want to disguise them. It's like a magic trick. You want people that they mustn't see it. They must. That's why I'm also going to add the jump later. There's a bounce, and then the bounce, it helps you to disguise the morphs as well. So let's go back to Tom. Let's go back to the drawing board here. And then what I want to do here is, I think I'm just going to keyframe for his hair. I'm just going to keyframe the opacity of the fill. Because it's going to be fine, because we're going to replace that hair with Jim's hair, which we're going to work on next. So that will be fine. So let's go to Tom. And then we make it 0 here. I just see something wrong there. Oh, that's the problem. I need to take this keyframe off. This one here for hair front for both Tom and Jim. Okay, so now let's go again. Test the state machine. Okay, now there's a problem. That's why I say you have to test the state machine continuously. And the problem, I forgot to put a keyframe here on the layer opacity. Now it's going to work. Let's see. State machine, test. Still not working. Okay, I need to be here in hair front. I was in the group layer. Okay, so if we go here, I need to put a keyframe here for layer full 100. Now it should work. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, let's make Jim's glasses disappear. So we go to Jim, then we go to L glass, we go to the main group here, because we want to make everything disappear. We put on scale X and Y keyframes, go to Tom, make those 0. And then we do the same for the glasses on the right hand side. So we just make everything 0 here, and then go back there and put a keyframe. Okay, and then we test again. So after every object that I change, I go and test it on the state machine just to see if it works. This actually works quite nice. It's got quite a nice effect. It's starting to get along quite nicely now. Okay, now let us continue. What else do we need for Tom? Okay, we need a different mouth for Tom, but we'll do that later. And these nostrils, Tom's got a completely different nose and mouth. So let's just change those quickly. We go to the nostrils. We can select both of them by pressing Shift, and then we just put keyframes on the scale, make them both 0, and then we go to Jim, and then we just test again. Okay, now it's working. Okay, let's get rid of the mouth. To get rid of the mouth, we're going to make the whole mouth disappear. So we're going to go here into, let's look for the mouth. See, now it's getting quite complicated, our a character. Okay, we're just gonna, I've got the mouth group here. We go in there, we go to mouth gym, and then we put a keyframe here on scale. Go into Tom, make that 0 and 0. So Tom's got no mouth and no nose. But we're going to fix that. We're going to go to the plastic surgeon and give him a nice face now. Let's just check the state machine. Excellent. We also need to get rid of the back hair. That's not a problem. Okay, I'm going to go to hair back and then go to gym hair back. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a trick. I'm going to make it disappear because the anchor point's over here. I can just slide it in with a scale. So I'm just going to put an X scale here and then go to Tom and then slide it in like that. Make it 0. And that usually works quite nicely if you animate, if you morph in that way. Let's see if it works. See, it actually works very nicely. So then the hair pops out and goes back in if you go to the other character. Okay, now it's going to get a bit tricky because now we need to add hair and a nose and a beard for Tom. And that's going to be a bit tricky. I'll show you why. Because now we've got Tom here. Now we want to add a new element, a new design element, which is his hair. Which is fine, we can do that. But remember, we're in animate mode now. So we don't want to spend, we don't want to change too many parameters because they're going to be recorded as animation. I can draw the basic shape of his hair here, which I'm doing here. And then we're going to go back into design mode and just edit it. Okay, I'm just going to do it like that for now, done editing. Because if I go here now and I change the color, it's going to record it as a keyframe and I don't necessarily want that. So we go back into design mode. It's going to look funny. Everything's going to look a bit weird here, but just bear with me. Now we can change the color in design mode. And let's just do a bit of housekeeping and name this one. We call this one Tom Hair and put it in the hair front group. Okay, there we go. So now it's there. Okay, now this one, edit the vertices. This one here at the top, we want to make it round. Something like this. Let's see what this looks like. It's actually good. See, that's what I'm saying here. There's a bit of skin sticking out at the top. But I don't want to edit it in animate mode. So I go back in design and I can see it was, I can just go and move it ever so slightly. And move it up. Then we should be good to go. Now for Tom's hair, I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to try and animate the Y and see what that looks like. So then we go back into gem and then make this 0. Okay, go to morphing animation, press F to frame everything and let's play. Sorry, state machine. I don't know if this works. I need to find another solution. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board here. For this one, for Tom, I think, okay, I'm going to take this keyframe off here. And I'm going to take this one off here as well. So there's no, okay, there's no keyframe on Tom's hair on. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's try the layer trick where we animate the transparency. So make this one 0. When in doubt, use that trick. That's what I always do. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Okay, this looks better. When we add the bounce, it's actually going to make everything pop a bit more as well. Okay, now let's add Tom's beard. And yet again, this is going to be another one that's a bit tricky because we're going to go into animate mode and add it here, and then we're just going to edit it in design mode. But I don't think this one would give us any problems because it's a beard and it can, if it's a bit off, it's okay, because I mean it's just something growing on his chin, so it doesn't need to be in a very specific place. Okay, now we select, let's make it dark. See here, it's quite tricky because you can't really see what you're doing. You have to imagine what the other side looks like. But that's why it's also good to work from reference. So and maybe sketch out your characters beforehand, so you know what you're working towards, and you've got them in an idea in your head. And then now I can just focus on the beard here, which is fine. I'm just going to take the anchor point and put it right there. Okay, I'm going to call this one Tom Beard. And then I'm going to put this into the mouth group. Create another group and call it Mouth Tom, because I want to create the inside here now of the beard. So I go into the pen again and just draw this inside of the beard. Just like this. Oh, done editing. Select, and in the full we make it the same as this one here. Let's go edit again. I just want to see. Okay, that's fine. It's fine like it is there. And then press Y for the anchor point. Maybe put it there in the middle. Press Y again, and call this one Mouth Inside. And then we put this also in the mouth. We're going to put this in Tom Mouth. There we go. Okay, now this one's at the bottom, but that's not a problem. We'll fix it now. So we put mouth in front. Okay, that's great. Okay, while we're here, we might as well work on the nose. Okay, so for the nose, all we're going to do is we're going to go to R, create a rectangle, make it skin tone, give it a corner like that. See, it looks very funny. I call it Tom nose top. Okay, let's make this one dark, and then we Control D, and we make this one skin tone, and this one we bring up a bit and maybe make it a bit wider, like so. And then Control G, group them. Tom nose, and we put Tom nose into the face group. You could just put it there above the mouth. And then Y to move the anchor point. Okay, now let's animate this. See, this guy's actually starting to get a personality now, which is great, which is exactly what I want. So just put a keyframe there for Y. We go back to Jim, and we don't want that big nose for Jim. Doesn't suit his face. So we go to Y, make it 0. And let's do the same here with the mouth. We go into the mouth group. Get Tom's mouth. Okay, I must just go back to design quickly because I want to put the anchor point of the group here at the top. Y, anchor point. Done. Go back to animate. And we put a keyframe here, make this 0, and then at Tom we just make this 100%. Let's see what it looks like. State machine, play. Okay, so I'm just going to press F to frame everything, to click on the artboard, frame everything, and then it's actually starting to look quite nice. It works quite well with the nose. The way it grows, and the nose and the beard, is like they follow each other, and then does it disappear again. It's just one thing, the nose is intersecting with the eye a bit. That's not a problem, I can fix that. Let's go to Tom. I think what we need to do is go into design, find that eye and just move it ever so slightly to the left. I hope you're starting to see the logic behind doing this. Sometimes if you want to change everything, you change it in the design, but if you only want to change some things, you change it in the animation section. And it's very important to keep your wits about when you're working this way. Okay, let's just have a look here. State machine. Press F to frame, and let's play it. Oh, I think we have... Okay, no, we still need Tom's nice mullet. Tom is very sad because he needs his mullet. So let's create Tom's mullet. This is going to be easy. So we can go into animate mode and go into Tom, and then press the pen tool, and we create this beautiful mullet for Tom. Tom the hillbilly. Okay, there's say done editing, and then click on select, and then we go into design mode. Press Y to change the anchor point. Done. Change the hair color, and then we call this Tom's mullet, or mullet, if you want to call it a mullet. It's a bit of a, if you're a bit more fancy, but I think it's a mullet. Okay, let's go and put Tom's mullet into the hair back. So I hope you could see the logic behind all of these groups, because because I animated the hair back group, now if I change the hair, it's going to animate automatically. Tom's mullet's going to animate automatically because it's part of that group. Then I don't have to animate everything, and it just makes it look much smoother as well. So let's put a Y keyframe on Tom's mullet here, and then for Jim we're going to make it 0 because Jim doesn't want to have a mullet. Okay, let's just press F here again to frame everything. Okay, test the state machine. You know the drill by now. There we go. Oh, it's actually looking quite nice. We just need one small change, and then we can call Tom done. We just need to change his eyebrows. Very easy to do that. We just go here into Jim, press Control until you have the eyebrows selected. We can actually press Control, and then if you press Shift, we can select both of them. And we just click here to put in keyframe. And we go to Tom, and we just select the fill there and pick this one, and it changes both of them. And then we go to the state machine, press F, no, go to the artboard first, press F to frame everything and test the state machine. I can't stress this enough. You have to test the state machine continuously. So this is actually starting to look nice. We're getting a nice result here. So in the next one we'll continue, and we will make it even nicer by adding a third character. It's going to be lots of fun.